facing that stigma, that thing that YouTube doesn't want to talk about, that word that says, oh no, I don't want to discuss this, that religious stigma attached to taking one's own life. I found out that a Facebook friend is no longer with us. I'm choosing my words carefully as not to get this video banned. When someone says that they have no choice, that they can't face the ridicule of their family or friends for something they may have done, you know where I'm going with this. Yeah, I was really touched by the outpouring of love for this individual, for this person that I know. And to be sure, and to be frank, I didn't know this person well, you know. But the problem that I have as a survivor is not the outpouring of love. The problem that I have is after the initial shock wears off, nobody does anything. Nobody says, hey, what can I do to stop this from happening again? Nobody stops and says, how do I make a difference? How do I stop anyone from taking their life? How do I prevent someone from making the greatest mistake of their life? I understand that people have problems. Trust me, I definitely understand that. I keep turning my head to look at my computer. You know, not that I have written notes, but looking at the final words that my friend wrote. From my own experience, there's no way out. There's no option. There's as my friend wrote, the shame of confronting my family and friends and its consequences is too great to handle. You're just left so paralyzed with fear that there is the only way out is taking one's life. And that's the problem. You know, the outpouring of love, like I said, it was just overwhelming. Pages. People who are willing to show their support, their love, their compassion, only after the fact that it's done. And that after the initial shock is over, they just go on with their normal lives. Yeah, a lot of people say that taking one's life is something that only affects that one person, and you know, if it affects a member of your family, then you think about it, but nobody does anything about it. Nobody takes that extra step to say, hey, what can I do? Hey, what resources do I have? Hey, when are we going to put a stop to this? Hey, why isn't this a thing that we can eradicate? Why isn't mental health something that is just so completely, and are we so wrapped up in our own selves that we stopped caring about other people? I'm doing a video right now on somebody that I barely know. because he was part of the Star Wars community, and well, so am I. You know, I'm not well known in the Star Wars community. This person was definitely very, very loved. You know, but for whatever his problem was, I mean, there are other options. You know, the problem is that this person, although received a ton of love after the fact, had no idea there was a ton of love before he took his life. You know, it's the old adage of if I knew what I knew now doesn't apply. Everybody was concerned, everybody was heartbroken, but nobody took that extra step to hold a person's hand and said, let me help you. That person didn't know of an extra step, of an extra option. Person has a wife and kids. The wife is now a widow and those kids are now orphans. This hurts. When are we going to stop caring about ourselves, and when are we going to start caring about others? So when somebody says, I hurt inside, that a stranger or a friend stops mocking them, stops ridiculing them, or stops placating them and starts saying, what can I do to help? This isn't woke ideology. This is being a human being. I'm 61 years old. And to think that 50 years ago, the age of 11, I was in that same spot that my friend was in. What kind of pressures and what kind of problems can an 11-year-old have? Well, quite a bit actually. You know, look at the statistics. Look at the face of what taking one's life is all about, and acknowledge that there's a problem. Acknowledge that you can do something about it, or bloody hell ask, well, what is the option that I have? Or what options could my friend have taken? That way, if I have a situation that either I'm in, or a family member's in, or a friend is in, I can tell them, do this. Nothing's gonna stop you from taking that one extra step for another human being. Only you. It's great to care after the fact. It's great to feel that you feel sad because you're showing that you care. But if your friend had came to you and said, I have a problem and I don't know what to do and I can't do this anymore, that's a great indicator. I can't do this anymore. I can't go on. Everybody has their limits. Everybody has that time when life is just so unbearable that you look at your failures and they become mountains. You look at your successes and they're barely an anthill. You say you care. There are the numbers. There are the phone contacts. There are the websites. You know, it's kind of like when somebody dies of cancer and you feel bad and you feel sad and I wish there was something we could do, or I wish we could find a cure for cancer. Well, when you put enough money and research towards it, yeah. Well, let's start putting enough money and resources towards this. Let's make it so when somebody turns around and says, I am sorry, I have no choice, I can't bear this anymore, that somebody out there will turn around and say, yes, you can bear it. Yes, I understand you're sorry. I realize that this is difficult, but we can work through this. We can get through this. Think about that. Give it some thought. Show a shred of humanity. Stop caring about yourself and care about others. I'm Mark Stice, and thanks for watching this video.